Somebody asked me the other day what kind of welder is that you use. Well, I've been using for the past several years this old $50 Sears welder that was in my neighbor's yard sale. After somebody else gave it up, decided that they didn't want it enough to keep it, he took it on, and then I bought it from him. And a while ago the fan broke in it. The fan that cools the insides of it broke, and it made a noise. It sounded about like a cat fight inside, and when I went to look at it, all the fan blades had fallen off, and I meant to fix that, but instead I just put a little portable fan down there next to it and kind of probably forgot about it. Well, the other day I was outside welding, and I was doing a lot of welding on that trailer. I didn't think it was very heavy welding, but it was sustained welding where I'd be working a bead all the way across on a particular spot. And when I got through, I walked, I kind of stood up and tilted my helmet back, and I noticed that I had some smoke, I had some smoke coming from over here where I've been welding at, but I also had some smoke over here, and I looked over here and it was my welder. My welder was smoking, and I tipped it up and looked inside of it, and it looked like fried bacon inside there, and I said to myself, that can't be good. So during all this time I've been thinking I really should have a decent welder. Well, I found this one for sale online locally here, and this is an old Lincoln welder, and it's heavy. If you notice the thickness of the metal that makes this thing up, this thing is as heavy as a 47 Chevrolet. And the guy I got it from said he got it from a guy that bought it brand new, and he called him an old granddad type, and had it all his life, and probably took pretty good care of it. So I got it, and I learned how to weld on one of these things back in the old days, and being an old man myself, I tend to believe these old welders will weld better than a new welder. I don't know if that's true or not, but I suspect them new welders is about like them new John Deeres that you buy over to Home Depot or the Lowe's store. Everybody tells me them new John Deeres ain't made out of the same kind of parts as them old John Deeres was, because they're made in China, like a Chinese John Deere. I don't know if all that's true or not, but that's what people say. I know my neighbor bought one, and it won't pull a hill in front of my house, but his old one will. So that said, I wanted an old welder. I bought me an old welder, and you can tell it must be pretty good, because look at the size of the wire. The size of the wire on this thing is just about as big as my thumb. Look at the size of this lead wire right here. Now, most people I know, if they had a little bit of wire that big, they'd be hauling it off for scrap because it's worth so much money. I just don't believe they make them like that anymore. So, with that said, I'm going to do a little welding. Start welding down my lid here. I got started in the process of finishing this trailer out on front, and then I got interrupted because I had to go to work. It's funny how work can interrupt a good day. But I'm going to do a little welding on that with my new welder, and we'll just see how it goes. And I'm going to be doing some light welding. I'm using these little 6011 rods, and basically I'm running a bead like I did back here. I ran a bead. This is what I did when I smoked my welder the other day. I just ran a bead all the way across the back of here. And I'll be doing a lot more of that kind of welding, because I'm going to weld up all the spots where a car might hang up, like right here. If you'll notice, there's some metal. This is like a lip where the metal from that barrel was turned in. Well, eventually I'm going to push this down, and I'm going to run a bead across here so that this lip won't stick up. So if you're ever pushing something off of here that's dragging the trailer, it won't grab on that and pull it up. So with that said, I'll do a little welding up there this evening, and we'll see what it looks like.